Our Computex 2017 coverage is brought to you by Thermaltake and the Hall of Fame series by Galax. Alrighty guys, we are back and now we are at the Galax Computex booth. Now we can see all their GPUs over here. Now we just really want to cover two GPUs. Of course, we've got the GTX 1080 Ti HOF limited edition. This big boy here, this thing is huge. We've all seen the sneak peeks, we've all seen the videos, the photos. It's got the LCD screen on top as well, which is a nice little feature. Now I have also confirmed, or I've spoken to the guys, that that screen does rotate. So if you're putting it in a inverted ATX case or something, all your text won't be upside down. So you can rotate that in the software, which is a good thought. Now taking a look at this one here. So this is basically the same as the HOF. It's just got 8 bits power water block on there. Now, surprisingly, the water-cooled version is slightly clocked less than the air-cooled 1080 Ti HOF, probably because they assume that if you're getting the water-cooled one, the consumer will probably do the overclocking themselves. Now, just some of the features on here. Of course, we've got a heap of ports, pretty much your standard NVIDIA, or slightly different because there is the DVI port. We do have the 3 display port and the HDMI, but we do also have what I think is little LEDs above each one to show which one's connected. We do have this little switch here. I spoke to the guys here. It was hard to understand what they were saying with this one, but it seems like this purely just controls the fans. If you want maximum cooling performance, you press this switch and it'll just put the fans at full ball. It doesn't adjust anything with the clocks. You have to adjust them yourself. And this little bit hanging out here is the cable that runs to the support stick. Now it's not really a support stick, it's more of a support bracket that connects onto your I/O or onto the PCI screws, and that just runs along the card. And that's RGB as well, and that plugs into the card here, so you can sync it all together with the card, and that's exactly the same on this one over here. One last little bit I want to cover on here is, you've probably seen this being announced. It's been, I'm pretty sure this was at last Computex. This is the PCIe 1TB, so this is the HOF SSD. So if you're really nuts on getting HOF gear, they've got the SSDs, they've got the normal SSDs, they've also got HOF memory as well, and they're also bringing out HOF peripherals, so they're pretty much going nuts with all their HOF sort of lineup of gear. Now I just want to take a quick look at some of their SSDs. Some of them are more normal SSDs, so I'm sure not everyone's going to be jumping out and buying a PCIe SSD, but this one here is just a Hall of Fame, nice white. It does actually glow white, that sort of Hall of Fame text, and the logo glows, which is a good touch. Just the specs there, 256 gig. They may be probably more, I can't see why not. And then we have the gamer, because Galax also does sort of a gamer series as well. And then we just have the more extreme PCIe ones over here. I can't expect these ones sort of to be too cheap, because that's just sort of a standard thing with PCIe SSDs these days. Not everyone can afford them. Okay, now lastly, I just want to cover some of their memory modules they have. Now, we've seen the HOF series for a little while now. I'm pretty sure this was the last Computex. There's a few versions of this. I'm glad they've sort of brought out the one with the white PCB, because that's pretty much what HOF is all about, bringing everything white and the white PCB. Now we've got DDR4 4000 megahertz there, but this just looks really stunning. And they've also got the extreme performance one over here. That's more of a shiny, glossy sort of coating there. I'm not sure how this is coming up on video, because this is really low down in a little cabinet with a heap of lighting in it. So I'm hoping these sort of are coming out nice. And now moving over to this one over here, this one's just nuts, HOF Extreme. This is all glossy, it's all chromed, and this is 4500 megahertz, which is just nuts. Now this would just look crazy in pretty much any system, I reckon. Now moving over here, Galax has moved on to some RGB memory. I'm not sure how this will go, having the memory being red, especially with RGB. You're probably not going to set it to like yellow or something like that. Maybe suggesting they could come out with more of a neutral color sort of casing and just let the RGB do all the effects. And then we got this one over here, very, very high speeds, and you can see it's a very, very aggressive design. And then we have the other one over here, so it's just the inverse of the one on the right. It's more red and less of the silver, and this one runs at 3000 megahertz. So yeah, that's pretty much it from the Galax booth. Just a few little things to cover. I want to thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.